Elm programming. Here we go. Okay, so we are on handling events and handling events with messages and updates. So what we're going to do is probably put something attached to the view, or maybe just up here. Okay, so like click event Elm runtime emits a message which goes to an update function. So essentially, like, interpret message, update, view, and model. Something like this. So that's kind of the idea. So I think that's what we're going to probably implement first. It says the message should describe what happened. So, you know, like the user clicked a photo or clicked photo. I think we're gonna create a update function. I don't really know where it goes, but I know we need to make messages first. Which I forget exactly how to do that. Okay, so view import HTML dot events. So we're gonna learn how to handle clicks, basically. So that's what we're doing right now. So why is this complaining? Oh, exposing. Sorry. I gotta get out of Haskell mode and back into this. Okay, so this is an image. So when we click the image, we're gonna say on click description equals click photo data equals dot URL. So I think what we're doing here is basically we're not emitting any messages here, I don't think, because I think this description just has to do with, although maybe I'm wrong. I guess we're gonna find out here in a second. All right, let's see what happens. So I already have this thing called Elm Reactor running. So like I can just open Elm right from the web. So it starts like this web thing, and you can basically just click your things. So supposedly I can click on these, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I'm not really sure. Maybe something's happening here. Move these. Okay, so I think we have to like actually handle the updates. So we're gonna do that next. What's going on, Chappie? Did you see me scare Soding today? It was really funny. I don't think he was very happy about it, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. Oh, he's here. Hey, what's going on? I enjoyed your stream today. I always love watching Haskell stuff. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I actually almost understand what you're doing. So that's pretty cool. I haven't done a lot with. I mean, you just have all that in your head, right? Like you've been working on this project for quite a long time, so sometimes it's hard for me to follow when I only catch like the second half of your stream 90% of the time. So I enjoyed scaring you, but I don't wear headphones, so yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is basically set up the system to deal with the updates. So the way you basically do this is you use this browser sandbox thing to start. So it's like browser dot if I could spell. And essentially this just takes a record which tells the sandbox like what functions do what. So we have an initial model, which is basically like this. We have our view function, which is just view, and then we're gonna have an update function, which is update, and fix this formatting. Actually, does the formatter work here? Yeah, it does. So actually, I submitted a pull request to Elm format today. It doesn't accept any short options, so I thought that was kind of weird. So I added the short options sandbox. So I don't know if that makes it more usable for other people, but I didn't feel like typing the long options every time I wanted to use it. Although it's being used, in here automatically, which is nice. The 4 spaces kind of throws me off, but like I usually do 2 spaces. But it is what it is. So I think this is going to be something like update message case message of, and then given anything, I don't know what pass is. So, oh wait, we probably also need a model. I'm not sure which way it goes. It's probably like this. But we'll just basically make it a pass through, and I think this will compile. Yeah, it'll compile, so that's kind of cool. I suppose I don't need to write this case like this. I could just stick model here, obviously, and we don't really need to do this check, but we're gonna update this with actual messages here in a little bit. So we might as well just put the skeleton here. All right. So yeah, we're gonna catch. There's this night. Let me just show this picture because it's gonna be easier. So Elm runtime message update model view HTML runtime, right? It's just this constant loop happening, and so that's kind of like what we're working with. What's up, Bloomy? How are you today? Yeah. We're back on the book right now to get some fundamentals, and also like I've never built a single page app, or well, I've said this before, I've never built a website before, so I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. Although I do find Elm pretty intuitive, so I think we're trying to blaze through this book so we can start doing actual like web programming. That's the idea, or well, front end web programming. Okay, so yeah, we're basically gonna have something like this. What? I don't think this is right, but we'll get there in a second. So it's like operation. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Nice. It's 0.4.2.0. So I think it's gonna be like select photo is the idea. Or I don't understand what this select photo where this is coming from yet, but maybe they'll explain it here in a second. no explanation. I think Blaze is a like a templating library, but maybe it's different. I mean, that's yeah. It's like well, this is HTML. So like Blaze Builder. Yeah. So it's some kind of templating system or something. I've seen it before with in Python. It's pretty popular there. In what is that framework called? Flask. I think they use Blaze by default. I think this is something like that. It might be something else. I don't know. Chunked. Yeah, it's like byte string builder. Like a lazy byte string? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, so the all right, so actually on click, what this on click is doing is actually submitting this as a message. So it's like the whole thing. So you're gonna say case message description, I guess, is clicked photo, do something. Otherwise, just do nothing. Something like this. And then I suppose we need to, so if it's a clicked photo, then we're gonna basically update our model to say that it's selected. So we're gonna say selected message.data. So I think this is basically what we're gonna do. And then I guess there's some CSS to like deal with this selected thing. I think normally people deal with this with actual data types. Like you would emit a message that contains this record, essentially, or like a wrapper around the record. Something like this. So let's see if this actually works. So we can refresh. Oh, wrong refresh. I just refreshed the stream. Not the chat, so. Oh, here we go. So it's see? So clicking updates. Cool? Yes. All right, and then the other thing that they do is just so anyway, this demonstrates the behavior of what's going on. So, oh right, it doesn't have the formatting because we're using a reactor. We need to use we need to actually use Elm build. What is it? Elm. No. I really don't remember how to do this. Source main Elm? Oh, it's not called main, it's called Photo Groove. But there's no CSS here either. This works though. No, that's okay. We were talking about it, so it's not that off topic. I truly don't remember how we built this before, so I need to go back and do some. Well, I could probably try this as well. This was all me working on exorcism stuff and the pull request. Wasn't that long ago that I did this. Me screwing around with Elm format. I mean, it should be in my history somewhere. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, but then I think that means I screwed up my index. Right, my index was supposed to be like a boring function. Or a boring, hang on. Gotta find it. I goofed up. So before I do that, so if I write just this, okay, it writes to index HTML. So we should probably make sure we don't run this. Guess I could make like a make file so I don't do this, but I should probably just get used to it and be careful. I suppose I could just reset index as well. How do I reset a single file in Git? Git checkout. File name? Well, duh. Nice. Okay. There we go. So now if we refresh, stupid. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so now we should see the little bar or the, you know, the highlighting around the edge. So that's the only difference here. And that's all handled in this messaging system in runtime. So that's kind of nice. Wrong way. All right. So I think that's actually the end of chapter 2. All right, so if I remember correctly, I think the way that we would do this is sort of a little different than this. We would build, I think we build a type. We'll probably talk about it in chapter 3. So let's just keep going. Yeah. Chapter 3, Elm init. Yes. Now read that link. No thanks. Not today. Is there nothing in source? Interesting. I assumed it would at least make like some sort of main file, but it does not. All right, so chapter 3 is called Compiler as Assistant. So we're going to learn about documenting guarantees with type annotations, implementing multi-way conditionals and case expressions, storing flexible data with custom types, using array and maybe, generating random numbers, using commands, which I think is kind of a weird way to say that. I don't know what that means yet. Like what commands would I be using? I don't know. So it says in chapter 2 we build our first Elm application. Doesn't do much yet, but it has potential. Blah blah blah. All right, so it says for the next version, I want to kick the fun into overdrive. We're going to add a button that says surprise me, and when you click it, it selects one of the photos at random. Okay, so we want to improve code quality. Let users choose between small, medium, and large thumbnails, and add a surprise me button. There's a nice quote from Ron Jeffries here. So it says, "Code never lies. Comments sometimes do," which I had not heard before, I don't think. But that's a great quote. All right, so I think what we really need to do is just copy the version from chapter 2, because we're just going to keep working on it. So we're going to copy this, and we also need to copy this. Oh. Make source PhotoGroove -- output. So actually maybe I should add that as well. I don't know if Elm is also just a standard Haskell thing, but we could add a short option to output, so you don't have to write this all the time. Although maybe there is a -o, I don't know. Elm.js. Yeah, see, like, there's only long options. I don't know. It's a little obnoxious to me. Okay. So then, in theory, we should be able to change this to chapter 3, and it should still do the same thing, and it does. By the way, if you didn't know about this, I'm going to post this here too. Elm has a Hoogle. I think I've already mentioned that before, but I'll mention it again because it's important. So what we're going to do here is basically just start adding annotations, I guess. Right, I didn't actually pull that out. Do we write an is empty file? What did I just do? I don't think we did. Okay. Okay, so we could say, for example, photos is a list string selected URL is string. Okay, so we're just gonna start adding type annotations, I suppose. So what does this do? So this is going to take a string. Let's say thumb. It's a URL. It's a selected URL, which is just a string as well. And it's going to produce some HTML, I guess. I don't remember how this works. Well, maybe it will explain. You know about arrays and lists in this language, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Okay. We'll come back to this. Sorry. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's not even loaded out. So let's fix this a little bit. So we're gonna use an array apparently. So let's just do that. So what we want is a type alias photo girl string. And then we want to turn this into an array of photo. What is this complaining about? Use the fields type. Where's this gonna open? Nice. Oh, okay. Maybe we're gonna put something else in it, so not do that yet. Okay. Oh, I see, I see. So typically, I guess you, instead of writing this, you would usually annotate this as well. So it would be like photos, array, photo, selected, girl, string, and then that way you can just write model here. I think this is pretty standard. Oh, right. HTML has a... Okay. Right. So there's our model. And then down here in our updates, we're going to have a type alias message. And so then our update will take a message and a model. I think it produces HTML message. Right, because this message is just what we're creating here. Wait, no. The view does that. This returns a model. the view takes a model and makes HTML message. Right, but I need to expose it. I think that's right. Should format this code. Okay, and then we gotta go fix some bugs. So this is no longer a list.map, it's an array.map. But, oh, okay, but this is no longer, like, it needs to be a list, so you still have to convert. Why would I want a list? Why would I want it to be an array? I'm not even sure yet. Let's leave this as a list for now and see where they're going with the array part. I'm not sure why it's an array. That was interesting. I don't know if you noticed that, but the first time I did the format, it moved my cursor, and the second time it didn't. Not sure what that's about. Let's delete this. We'll keep this for... We don't need that anymore. That was in chapter 2 that we were doing that. So this is just gonna make... Is this also gonna make an HTML message? I suppose so. So string, string. What? Oh. What's thumb? Model selected URL. It's just a string, isn't it? Shouldn't thumb be the photos? It's not a string. What's this complaining about? Fine. Alright, so the only one we have to annotate now is main, and I actually don't know what this is, but it's, I mean, it's probably like HTML model or model? Oh. I don't know what it is. Hang on. Does it tell me what type it is? No. Hmm. Do. We could just do the following, like Elm REPL main, import source, no, photo groove. Exposing main. Program. Interesting. I wasn't expecting this piece. I was pretty close with this, but I don't know what this program is. I guess that's what is, or how it deals with the wrapping. Anyway, I should use Control Z there. Sorry, Lumi. I'm getting better at that, by the way. Okay. So, now we need to create another button. So in our view, oops, we're gonna say so we have all of our thumbnails. So here we're gonna create another button. And we're gonna say on click description surprise me. And then probably don't need this here. It only has like one thing in it. I think it's customary to put spaces around this stuff. We'll format it later, but I'm trying to be surprise me. So this should be okay. What's this? Cannot find a button variable. So I think this is an. Wait, didn't I use button before? No, I didn't. Okay, so it's probably in here. It's either in attributes or this. Yeah. Okay. Great. So there's a button, and apparently we're gonna click it, and stuff's gonna happen. So Elm make. So it's not going to do anything because it's just going to pass back the model, but this piece should still work. There's our button right there. And then what we need to do is actually handle the button. So to handle the button press, we go to our update function, and what we need to do is basically deal with it. So here, if surprise me is chosen, click surprise me. We're going to update the model. And we're going to say, for now, selected URL equals, I don't know. We'll just make it the third one. Oh, right. Otherwise, don't do anything. I assume that this is optimized as well. Like, I presume every loop we're not creating a copy of the model if we don't have to. There's probably some like imperative stuff happening behind the scenes, but you know, we're not allowed to be imperative in the language. So, oh, I need to rebuild it. So z elm make. All right, so if we click surprise me, we should get the third one. It doesn't work. Huh. What just happened? Apparently I just threw away all of those. Was I working in here? Yeah, I was. I don't think I saved it. Doesn't work. I must have something wrong. So the button has a description. Oh, I wrote clicked. This is why, by the way, we're going to learn that your messages shouldn't just be strings. They should be custom data types, because then you can't accidentally write clicked or click. So bug. It should work now though. Yeah, there we go. So you can see when we click surprise me, it'll always go to the third one. We're gonna make that random here in a second. So yeah, note to self. These should be custom data types. So let's actually just do that real quick, because I have seen this before. So our message is actually going to be a data, and it's going to be a sum type. So it's going to be a click can you I don't think you can do it like this, but we can wrap is it just type? How do you make a I forget how you make a sum type. Yeah, just type. So we want type equals quick payload type alias payload. I don't know what to call it yet, so let's just call it this. Description string data string. Okay. Then case message is going to be oh, wait. And then yeah. Okay. And then here we're gonna have clicked photo and then this doesn't actually need any data. Click. Okay, so now we actually have like type errors when we're passing messages around, instead of what we had before, which was you know, not that. So before we were sending like these types of messages around, which is no good. All we need to do is basically wrap this in a click. We also don't need a description anymore. The description doesn't mean anything. So this is a click photo. And actually, this can just take a string. This doesn't need anything else. It'll just be like this. So we're iterating already. We don't need a description anymore because the description is taken care of by the data type. So get rid of that. And this is just an S, an S. Okay, now let's go fix these errors. So this fixes this one because we just passed click photo as string. We need to go deal with the surprise message one. So here is going to be click. Oh, I don't even need to do anything because we're just going to do that. So I'm sort of jumping ahead in the book, but I've seen Elm code before, so like I sort of know a little bit about what I'm supposed to do. What's wrong with this? Third pattern is redundant. It is redundant because we can only ever have a click surprise or a click photo. So now we get rid of that case that does nothing. And we can format our code real quick. All right, so there we go. We refactored a little bit. Yeah, single field record feels weird, but okay. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna define a type. I don't really know where to put this, so I'm gonna put it down here for now. Thumbnail size. And it can be small, medium, or large. Oh, just unused. Okay. So actually this can come up to the top because it has to do with our model. So selected, fine. Chosen size is going to be a thumbnail size. All right, and then you could start seeing that like where we get errors, and we basically just have to fill them out. So our initial model is going to have chosen size medium. Okay, so that fixes that. And then okay, so we're gonna write a function called view size chooser. Kind of a weird name, but it's gonna take a thumbnail size and create an HTML message. So we're gonna have to deal with that message here in a second. So view size chooser size equals label input type radio I have no idea what that type underscore means yet, so hang on. Text size to string size. So how does this make a message? I guess it just doesn't make a message, right? Yeah. Case, or sorry, we need to write this function size to string. It's going to take a thumbnail size and clearly return a string. Size? We don't have lambda case, but man, would it be nice here? Could you imagine lambda case here? I have no idea what this means. Oh wait, I see. They're just comments. I'm stupid. I just realized I'm dumb. Man, deriving show. Am I right? Well, I guess it's not deriving show, but okay. Usually we put 2 spaces between functions for whatever reason. We'll run a quick format. What's wrong with this one? Oh, yeah. Super easy to make that mistake. That's a fair point. Ugh. I would like lambda case here. It would be nice. I don't know how easy something like that would be to implement here, but we'll get there. So at this point, we're bringing in a lot of stuff from. Oh, lambda case is so in Haskell. You could write size to string like this. Equals case. Oh, I think like you don't put an arrow here, right? And then small. Yeah. So you don't have to even like you could just make it why I'm losing. You can make it point free. There we go. You don't need this to input size. Yeah, it's like lambda syntax. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna expose probably just expose dot dot from here because we're getting to the point where we're bringing in a lot of stuff and these are attributes, so we'll just dot dot here as well. It's not really the best thing, but it's a lot easier and it will save me some time. So I guess this is going to be like a radio button when we actually show it or something. Um, and it's going to have, I don't know. I see. Okay, so we're going to make 3 of these. We're going to have 3 inputs that are radio buttons that when they're pressed, uh, it seems like they should be together, but anyway, we'll see what happens. What's up, kitty? All right, so the underscore in that type, so this underscore here is very important. Type is a reserved keyword in Elm used to define types. So when you have this type here, it's the cat's gonna start being crazy, by the way. Okay, so now we're gonna render 3 radio buttons. Okay, so we're gonna go into our view. Where are we putting them? Apparently we're putting them above this, but below this. I suppose it doesn't really matter in this particular case because we're kind of writing like a weird app anyway. But we'll leave it here. So this one's going to be called choose size. And we need to put something in a list here. We're also going to put an H3 here that says text choose male size. Okay. And then in here, we're just going to render the radio buttons. But we're going to do it like the following. Use size chooser. Issue. Oh, these need to be. This needs to be in parentheses. There's no $sign in Elm, so. At least I don't think so. Okay, so that should do that. Then we probably actually need to handle. Okay, so. I don't know. Okay, so it says rendering different thumbnail sizes. So it says rendering the interface for choosing a thumbnail size is great, but it's only half the battle. We need to actually render the thumbnails differently based on what the user has chosen. Also, I think that like, oh wait, it actually doesn't do anything when we press these. I was actually expecting this not to work, by the way, but I also don't really know how HTML works. So it must be that if you have a bunch of radio buttons in a single div, you can't select more than one of them at once unless you allow that to happen. I don't actually know. So our surprise me button should still take us here. Our buttons still work, and we can click these, but they're not actually sending messages yet. So we'll deal with that here in a little bit. Okay, but first I think we're gonna do the view piece. So we actually aren't, like I imagined that view thumbnail is gonna take, it seems like to me like view thumbnail should take the chosen size, but let's see what happens. Wait, but the radio buttons don't do anything. This doesn't do anything. Am I missing something? I feel like I must be missing something. So when I click the radio button, nothing happens. And as far as I can tell in the book, there's no reason that it should, but maybe there's some. There's something I'm missing. Maybe I don't have the right styles. Hang on. Ah, I don't have the right styles. That's why. This goes in head, apparently. Clicking works, but Isn't this how you add style sheets? Does this link actually work? No, it doesn't work. Nice. So that link doesn't exist. elminaction.com styles CSS. It works in here. Did I copy it incorrectly? Oops, sorry. Oh, there's the dashes. Freaking dashes again. Yeah, me neither. Don't worry. I think it's these funky. So, like, copying from this text has turned out to give me some very interesting Unicode, I suppose. All right, so save this. Oops. Then we need probably to. Yeah, it's one of those things. This happens to me when you copy from the internet. It just happens sometime. It is what it is. Probably don't actually need to make, but we'll just make sure. And let's see if that works now. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so now in theory, no, it doesn't do anything. I mean, we need to update. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So this is what we're gonna do. We're going to say on click change size okay, and then in our message type we're gonna create a choose size thumbnail size, and then we're going to say choose. Fix that in a second. Where do these on clicks typically go? Oh, I see. So I want to put this in here. I suppose. Hmm. All right. Oh my goodness, I am completely misreading this. I'm such a doofus. So I do that sometimes because I'm one of those folks that kind of just skim stuff, and it's not a good idea. I'm moving ahead in the book, but I don't know how radio buttons work. So like it seems to me like, well, I know for a fact that this will only ever deal with the input size. So whatever I give the initial model, that's the only way to do this. And the reason for that is because I can basically never trigger a situation where this will happen, because I don't actually emit that message ever. So there's no way. Oh, what I wanted to do is do %s. There's no way I can ever emit this message. So I need to figure out basically when I have this view size chooser, how do I emit a click event for changing the value in the radio button? That's essentially what I need to do. So we've put in kind of uh, a lot of things. Okay. They're talking about maybes. I know about maybes, so I'm not concerned about that. What I really want to know is, okay. Okay. We already implemented what this book is talking about right now. Um, clicked, got it. Oh, okay. So it just goes in here. I thought I tried that. Didn't I? Maybe not. Choose size. So apparently this should just work. Small, medium. Well, it doesn't do anything. Do I need to recompile? Yes, probably. Look at that. Doot, 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 doot. It would be nice if one of these was clicked based on the model. Right, it should start at medium, so let's see if I can deal with that real quick before we move forward. So basically, is there like on a radio button a selected or something? What I need to do is probably go to the Elm documentation and look up input. So input. Yeah, but oh, okay, I guess I need to look at the attributes. Elm HTML attributes. So is there like a selected? There is. Cool. So this function needs to know what? What's the quote unquote correct way to implement this function? So what we need to know is which one of these things is selected. So should we just take a Boolean? Should I pass it the entire model? Or should I just pass it the size that should be selected? I really don't know. Let's start with this. And then basically, this is starting to get a little unwieldy, so let's put it like this, I suppose. So we're gonna say basically I have no idea what the right formatting for this is, but we'll deal with it. Well, we can just do it now. So basically what we're saying here is, like, if the selected size is the current one, we want to turn selected on. So it would be probably selected equals true. No, just this. Duh. It's not a record or anything. It's just selected true. Okay, and then wherever we call view size chooser, we also need to pass. So we have access to the model, so we can just say model dot chosen. What is it called? So we partially apply it to chosen size, and there we go. And then when we update the model, it will update the chosen size and ultimately update the view. And also it should give us a default now. Let's see if it works. So this, refresh. There isn't one selected, so didn't work. This still works though. I was expecting that to work. Checked? Maybe it's supposed to be checked. Maybe this just doesn't do anything. There we go. See? It's checked. Doot doot doot. Doot doot. The only thing that doesn't work yet is the surprise me button. Nice. We're doing stuff. I have no idea if this is the cleanest way to implement this, but it's what we have right now, so we'll use it for now. All right, so the other thing that we want to do, or what we need to do, is deal with the random numbers. So that's the last step here. So we need to get a random number generator. So apparently we can import random exposing generator. Elm install Elm random. Yes. Okay, unused, that's fine. So then, so now we have all these, so we can add a random photo picker. Random. Well, we don't need to. We really just want this to be a photo. But we wanted to take our model. Oh, thank you. I see it. It's such a hard thing to break. It's all, the list thing was also really hard. But like those are the two things that you have to remember. Most of everything else is pretty close to the same. Good catch though. Okay, so what we need is just our random number. So what we want to know is basically the size. So we're gonna randomly generate an integer. So we're gonna say select equals random integer from 0 to model.photos list.length. Oops. In, and then I think there's like we want to do like list.take or something. Select model photos. Now I think this might return a maybe, but I gotta go look again because I always forget. Core list take. Oh, this takes a list. I need like list A to A. I don't think that's a possibility here. I think you need to use the array type to do this. Although I suppose we could just do take head, but you know, does head return a maybe? It does. So let's just leave it as a list and we'll use take and head. So it should be in, isn't that what I have? Int list? What's the type? Is it not a random integer? Okay. But this doesn't quite work. So these things are wrapped in these generators. So I guess you need to somehow deal with them, but I don't know how yet. Oh, you need to use a message. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go through this a little carefully because it's sort of interesting. So, um, it seems like we got to do a little bit more work than I was expecting to make this work, but that's fine. So, I suppose in some regard, it's kind of like how Haskell works. So I suppose here we don't really need to make, yeah, we don't even need to know the model because we can just take the initial model's photos. So it's gonna be like, so we're gonna make a generator int, and it's going to be random integer 0 initial model list dot length photos. So this is currently unused, but that's fine. We're going to deal with that here in a second. The next thing we need to do, so that gets us our random number. And what we need to do now is be able to turn it into a message, which means that our update function needs to be updated, for lack of a better term, to also emit a message, apparently. So we're going to update this with a command message. And then all of these need to be sort of annotated to basically say, like, look, I don't need you to do anything more. So there's a picture of what's going on, and I'll show it in a little bit. Okay, so our update function is going to emit another message, which we're going to deal with as the random number. So in here, we're going to say got selected index int, and we need to deal with this. So we're gonna say got selected index model selected URL equals get photo URL index. Whoops. Index. What's the pipe? Which pipe? Oh, this pipe. So this is a record update syntax. So it's like, give me the current model and update the record selected URL to image, and that's the only update you're gonna make. So something like that. Yeah, it's really nice actually. It's super convenient. There's apparently like extensible records in Elm where you can say like, give me a record as long as it has these entries in it. Like it can be any record as long as it has it can be any record type as long as it has the what is the term for this? Why am I blanking on this? The whole thing is a record, and this is a field. Thank you. Why can't I think of that? My goodness. I was seriously blanking on that. Anyway, you can like say, give me a record as long as it has these fields, and it can be any record you want. So I thought that was like a really cool thing. And yes, I agree, it does look easier than Lens. Although we're going to be doing the optics book soon, so I'm hoping I can become a lens wizard like Jappy. Okay, so now basically this is how we're going to deal with the this get photo re all right, so we need to first get something to generate this, so that's the idea. Okay, oh right, so when click surprise happens, we're just going to return the model and a new message. So it's going to be random.generate got selected index random photo picker. All right, so they basically show this little picture because this is a little roundabout. So we're going to get a click, and it's going to emit this message, click surprise me, which is going to trigger our update function. Or I'm sorry, I guess the click is going to trigger the click surprise me. It's going to update and generate a new message. So the new message is right here. So it's like, I got surprised. Now I'm going to generate a new message called this. So we go back to our runtime and we get this, which is just going to give us a random value. Then we hit our update function, and we're going to eventually hit this command none, which is this one right here. Okay, so it's like hit this, then hit this, and that will actually update the model. Yeah, so like because you're dealing with this runtime, it's a little strange. Like the up arrows are messages and the down arrows are commands. I don't know. It sort of makes sense to me how this is working now. I kind of had like a mental model before, but I think my mental model is getting better. I really wasn't expecting this. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like just as like a row of things. Like this is the order of things that happened. Yep. That makes sense. Okay, so that's good. Now we need to deal with this get photo URL function. And we'll put it up here, I guess. So what is this going to return? A photo. Or is it going to return a string? Is there an undefined? That's fine. So selected URL needs to be an image. Click photo takes a string though, doesn't it? Yeah, so it needs to be a string. Right. So wait, don't we also need to know the model? Well, our model's not changing, so we'll just use the initial model. Because the photos don't change. Eventually the photos will change and this will be a poor choice. Although I think we're going to change this here really quickly. Let's do this because I don't like this. So we're going to do this and then model.photos. So we're going to take an int, a list of photo, and we're going to return a string. So index photos. It's going to be basically list.take index. Oh, actually, it needs to be index -1. I don't know if this random is inclusive. Random int. What we need to go find out is if random int is inclusive. Otherwise, we're going to be in for a world of hurt. By a world of hurt, I mean we're just going to, like, screw up. No big deal. No, just random. Int. Seriously? That's it? Oh, maybe I gotta click here. It might be faster if we do the following. Elm Hoogle. Int. Oh no. Okay. This generator can produce values outside of the range, but sufficient randomness is not guaranteed. Interesting. So I presume this doesn't say that it's inclusive, but maybe I should just assume it's inclusive. I suppose I should be able to test it on the command line. So let's do that because I don't want to guess. And also I don't feel like dealing with, although maybe it will be better. Yeah, we'll get there. Let's just not worry about the maybe yet. Oh, right. So test elm REPL import random exposing generate int. So my int equals int 0, 1. How's the generate function look like? Oh, it actually produces a message. Interesting. How strange. So you can't just generate. Weird. Like, there's apparently no way to run this. What if we take what if we Hoogle? What's up, Warren? How are you? We're trying to figure out how to generate random numbers in Elm. It's not going so well. It's a little weird, I guess. Generate or A to A. Is that a thing you can do? That's what it's called, right? Generator. This is not the function I'm looking for. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, this is the function you use to generate it. So generate by itself generates these command messages, and so you have to exactly. So it's just very it's a very different way of thinking about what's going on here. The reason I was concerned is I can't decide if it's inclusive, so I think I'm going to do this just to be safe. List.head, and then we also need to take, isn't that it? That's going to take this is not a record. The photo is a record. Oh, right. Because this can produce a nothing, but it's not going to. Oh, really? Did I miss that? Hang on, I will look at that in a second. Let's not waste our time. Let's just put a 1.jpg in here for now. I think we're gonna do something better here in a second. So, this is either gonna return a list with one thing in it, or two, or one, two, or three, and then we'll take the head of that, and we should always hit this. We should never hit this, but you know, just for sanity's sake. What did I just do? I think I just saved and closed like a silly person, but that's okay. We'll elm make. It's just that list.head returns a maybe, so I have to deal with it. I don't have a choice. So if we look at the list and elm core list head, so if you tried to take head of an empty list, you just get nothing back. So it should never get triggered, but I just wanted to make sure, just in case. It's kind of just like being careful. Now this is weird. Oh, we're almost done. We need to change some stuff. That's okay. No worries. It shouldn't happen, right? I think there's actually a I don't know if there's a better way to do that, actually. Like, you know that there's going to be an element there in this particular case, but there may not be an element there, so you kind of have to deal with it. In Haskell, we just error, but that's not really an option here. So now we need to change this because we can't use our sandbox anymore. Apparently this becomes that. View stays view, update stays update. And then we need something called subscriptions. Can we just put underscores here? Apparently we have to give this an annotation for it to work. And I suppose we're gonna have subscriptions later, but we don't have them yet. So let's see if this now compiles. Does. And now we should be able to. This still works. This still works. This does not. See, we're always getting one. So it's the random number thing is seemingly broken. This is wrong. I forget where that is. Yeah. So I think this is really what I want. Okay, let's try this. You can do that. Nice. Still doesn't work. We're getting nothing every time. So this can be 0, 1, or 2. I don't actually want that -1 either. Alright, I'm doing something stupid. What am I doing? We got a list of photos. We take that. Oh. I'm stupid. Wait. Yeah. This is dumb. This is not the right logic. Do you see what I'm doing? If I get 0, I return 1.jpg because take 0 is going to return an empty list. If I take 1, then I'll get 1. If I take 2, I'll get 1 and 2, but then I take head. If I take 3, I'll get 1, 2, and 3, but I'll take head. So I always get 1 from this function. It's tail. It's not tail either. It's last, which I always do. It's drop head. It's the other way. Okay, so that should work. There is not an element at in the list. There is for an array. So that's the trick. Is in array there's like a get. So we could do this instead. Like this is perfectly acceptable to just do like maybe we just do this. And we could store we could store this as a array of photo, but we do have to do some refactoring for that. So I'm not entirely sure if that's the right thing to do, but let's see if this works because I mean the logic is a lot easier to understand for sure. Still, why am I just getting 0? I'm just giving oh, that's a good idea. So let's see. What's the best way to do this? So we need to like just store the random number in the model. So model cur number int. And then in view, the other nice thing about this is it gives us some practice to like play with this. In an, I don't know, an h2, we'll put the text model.cur int. And then when we choose size, not choose size, sorry, we click surprise, we're going to update. Wait, how do I update the model with that number though? Because that emits a message. Right. It's down here. Cur number. Yep. Equals index. Something like this. I think something else is broken somewhere. Right. Oh, this is an integer. How do I convert it to a string? Is there a show function? String dot from something? To string? Int conversions. From int. You got it. And to be very clear, we want to turn it to a string. I'm surprised it does not try and put this on another line. It's kind of interesting. All right, so now in theory, we should be able to build. What do I do? Oh, right. I need to set the initial thing, which should just be 0. Well, let's make it 2. Because we want to see if it changes, right? Because it should change to 0. I wish there was a... Is there an elm make help? I wish there was a watch so that I could just make on changes, because it can't do that with reactor. It'd be really nice if that was a thing. Anyway. Alright, so we got 2. So if we hit surprise me, we get 1. It works now. The crap. Why? But we did get a 3 in there, by the way. Yeah, maybe I forgot to compile, like, I don't know. Who knows? So let's get rid of this current number crap. Although that was a clever idea, which thank you for like saying that, because apparently I'm stupid and I wasn't thinking correctly. So now we definitely need a -1 because we shouldn't get a 3 ever. So this should really be -1. And then that should ensure that we always get the just here, and we're not concerned with that. Or we always get the just. And okay, so I have multiple of these open, so let's fix that. And then Elm. All right, so now we should only have one thing open, and we've fixed this, but we didn't compile apparently. That's why I need that. All right, neat. So we fixed that. Okay, cool. So it says we've added, let me go back to the bottom. So we've added a subscriptions field like flags, which is what was here, by the way. I just threw it away. We'll dive into that in chapter 5, so don't worry about it for now. So I just basically ignore whatever is coming in here. So we have this unit. That's not weird. Well, unit's not weird for me, but they're saying it's weird for other people. So it's basically, in this particular case, it's discarding whatever this piece is. I don't know what goes here. Oh, it's the flags. So these come from, I guess, when you initially run the program, you can like, oh yeah. That's what we want. Oh, wait, you know what? There might be a thing here that we can do. Elm's compiler has no watch option. Like I could, oh wait. Chokidar. I don't know what this package JSON file is. But I'm fine trying this. Let's give it a shot. So we want to like, that's true. We could just do that instead. But like we still have to press that all the time. I would much prefer to like just have the errors sit over here every time we save. Like I think that would be a lot nicer. So I do like the idea of setting this thing up. So where'd it go? Chokidar. What a weird name. There's got to be another function like that, right? Like that. I probably don't need to install like, watch file run command. It's from 2011. A little old. I don't want to do it that way. When changed. I don't need a Python program. I think we can just use this iNotify_wait thing. I feel like I've used it before, but I don't remember why. Oh, wrong directory. So we want to do elm make output source photogroup elm output equals elm JSON. Gotta get it. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I just realized you said saves and compiles. Let's see if this works. Func. Actually, let's just call it a string a equals hello. Save. Oh. Well. It did run. Okay. Error. Hashtag sad. Go. Compiled module. Well, bam. Alright, so that's probably fine. So let's just create like alright. We made GHC. Sort of. What do you think? Now we can't accidentally do it. Or not to do it, excuse me. And we didn't need to, well, we did need to install something, but that's pretty cool. I'm a fan. Okay, what's next? All right, so that's just the summary. So that's the end of chapter 3. So we added documentation in the form of type annotations. Users can now select from one of 3 thumbnail sizes. Surprise me button. So it says when we add a message value, the compiler will give us a missing patterns error if we forget to handle it. One thing I want to go look for real quick before I continue reading these is if that's an error. Elm Uh, GitHub? Compiler? Issues? Watch. Hmm. I can't believe that's not even a like an issue or a PR. Right? This is what I'm looking for. The compiler, yeah? Does interface mean what I think it means? I don't think so. Terminal? Okay, so how are these dealt with? So how is make dealt with? Can't type today. Apparently there's nothing in here but help and version. No idea what this means. Okay, anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it kind of seems weird to me that there isn't just a GHC ID for Elm. Maybe we should make one, I guess. I don't know if I can make one, but I could try. Um, so type variables represent concrete types that have not been specified yet. Type alias assigns a name to a type, much like how a constant assigns a name to a value. Eh. Okay, so that ends chapter 3. And honestly, I wasn't really feeling very good today, like right when I got home. So I might call it a night here. But we will probably I might do some this weekend because I have some time. So um yeah, I want to get off. So thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry we didn't work for a really long time today. We only did 2 hours today, but I'll probably do some more Elm this weekend. I'm just kind of tired today. Does anybody have any questions? My massive 2 viewer count. So probably Orin or Fireball. I need to commit this code, I guess. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think I'm sick. I'm just like blah. just kind of blah. But the next chapter is all about talking to servers, which is good because we're going to need to be able to do that. So it's like, we're going to use decoders to validate and translate JSON, handling descriptive errors, and communicating over HTTP. So we're going to have to do all of this stuff when we want to build our website to talk to our backend. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, anyway, no questions. So rest time, and I will catch you all later. Thank you so much for hanging out, talking to me. Later.